final instalment of our work on arpeggios, where we're going to take a look at the transposable fingerings of the minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. Now, given the position of the flat 5 interval midway between the root and octave, there are perhaps rather more fingering possibilities for this arpeggio than some of the others. I'm going to show you some of my preferred fingerings, but do take the time to explore the other possibilities for yourself. We'll begin as usual with the finger 2 position on string 6, although, given the location of the flat 5 interval, you might find it more comfortable to begin this with finger 3. I'm going to use finger 2, so I start with the root here, stretch down with finger 1 to the minor 3rd, then the flat 5th with finger 3, minor 7th with finger 2, and the octave with finger 4. To complete the second octave, I'm now going to take finger 3 down for the minor 3rd, then the flat 5th falls under finger 2, the minor 7th under finger 1, and the top octave finger 3. Beginning on string 5, here I would definitely use finger 3 and just play the basic triad using fingers 3, 1 for the minor 3rd and 4 for the flat 5th, and then move up to finger 1 at the minor 7th and finger 3 for the octave. From here I can play the next minor 3rd with finger 2, slide up to the flat 5 with finger 3, and then fingers 2 and 4 for the minor 7th and octave. Alternatively, I can break that last shift into 2 small shifts by going to finger 1 at the minor 3rd, and then it's a little easier to reach the flat 5th with finger 3. Beginning on string 4, again I would start with finger 3 and play the triad in the lower octave with the same fingering, and then slide up, remember, 1 fret further as we're now on the B string, to once again play the minor 7th and octave with fingers 1 and 3. From here I can play the minor 3rd with finger 1, then stretch to the flat 5th with finger 2, stretch again to the minor 7th with finger 3, and the octave with finger 4. As an alternative, I can play the minor 3rd in the upper octave with finger 4, and then finger 1 for the flat 5th, finger 2 for the minor 7th, and finger 4 for the octave. Beginning with finger 1 string 6, minor 3rd then lands under finger 4, the flat and 5th under finger 2, the minor 7th finger 1, and the octave finger 3. The next minor 3rd is under finger 1, the flat 5th now lands under finger 4, the minor 7th also under finger 4, string 2, and the octave finger 1. Or we can use finger 3 for the flat 5th in the upper octave. Beginning finger 1 on string 5, the pattern in the lower octave is the same. And you can see we once again end with the minor 7th and octave on fingers 1 and 3. This means that the options moving into the upper octave are the same as when we started with finger 2. Likewise when we begin on string 4, except that we have that extra shift of 1 fret as we move up onto the B string, string 2. but we're still ending up with fingers 1 and 2 on the minor 7th and octave, so in the upper octave we have the same fingering choices as when we began the arpeggio on finger 2. Beginning with finger 4 on string 6, we now have the minor 3rd under finger 2, a stretch to the flat 5th with finger 1, back to finger 4 for the minor 7th, and finger 1 for the octave. Beginning on the 5, the same pattern except that the octave now falls under finger 2. Beginning string 4, flat 5th now lands on the B string, so it fits in position under finger 1, and we can slide up to the minor 7th with finger 4, and then the octave with finger 1. Or we can use the same fingering here as we used when beginning the arpeggio with finger 2 on string 6, and that is to move to finger 3 at the minor 3rd, then finger 2 for the flat 5th, 1 and 3 for the minor 7th and octave. Once you've got the fingering sorted for this arpeggio, we can start to fit it into the sequence of the 2-5-1 and 6-2-5-1 chord progressions. Here's one example of a possible set of positions for the 6-2-5-1 in G minor. That's beginning E flat major 7, to A minor 7 flat 5, to D7, to G minor 7. Now we've learnt all the fingerings for the arpeggios, it's time to think about putting them to some practical use. And the significance of the 7th chord arpeggios in constructing melody or lead lines, or improvising solos, or indeed composing bass lines, is that if they're played against the appropriate 7th chord, of course they contain only chord tones, that's to say the notes that make up the chord. But we can also infer from the mere existence of the 7th chords that the 7ths will also harmonise with the basic triad chords. This means that if you compose a melody using just notes from the arpeggios, you have a built-in guarantee that none of the melody notes are going to cause any sort of conflict or discord along with the notes of the accompanying chord. In the rest of this series we're going to be looking at how the remaining notes of the scale can be incorporated into the melody line by breaking the scale down into a set of fingering patterns appropriate to each of the chords. We'll be beginning with the pentatonic scales, or just pentatonics for short. Before I get to that, I'm going to take another brief detour in the next video and discuss some ways you can maintain and develop your training even when you don't have a guitar to hand. I'll leave you to ponder the possibilities of that in the meantime and bid you goodbye for now.